Okay, so we were doing the inverse Z transform by using power series expansion method, right? So now we'll do some more problems on that. So some two or more three problems, important problems, and then we'll move further. Okay. So now take this one x of z. So we have to find the time domain signal x of z, which is given by e power z plus e power 1 by z. Okay. So now this is the x of z which is given. So now we have to find out what is x of n. Okay. So now for this you have to use the series expansion, that is for e power z, similar like your cos z, sin z, like that. So there is a standard formula for e power z or e power theta, we can call it as. So you can say general form, you can call it as e power theta, that is given by 1 plus theta plus theta square divided by 2 factorial plus theta cube by 3 factorial, plus it will go on up to infinity. So now this we can write it as in the summation form. Okay, summation k equal to 0 to infinity theta power k divided by k factorial. So we can write this expression in terms of the summation form like this. Okay, so now if you put the values of k, and you will get the same series. So now we can see here, instead of theta we will be having z. So now if we can write e power z in terms of z, you will get 1 plus z plus z square by 2 factorial plus z cube by 3 factorial, plus it will go on like this. And similarly you can write e power 1 by z. So this we can write it as e power z inverse. So now instead of z you can replace this as z inverse, that is you will get 1 over z power minus 1 divided by whatever the value, since it is minus 1, so you will be having minus 1 factorial plus z power minus 2, so divided by 2 factorial. So you have to take magnitude of this factorial, because the negative numbers it won't take in the series. Okay, so only you have to take magnitude. So if you take a magnitude, then you will get same 1 factorial, 2 factorial, like that. Only the z, whatever theta value, it will be changed. Okay, so then you will get z power minus 3 by 3 factorial plus like that. So now this we can write it as in the summation form, as it is like this. So you will get k equal to 0 to infinity z power k divided by k factorial. Okay, so this we can write like this. So now similarly this summation, what we can write, this summation we can write it as k equal to 0 to infinity z power minus k by k factorial. Okay, so now we can write, so this whatever complete x of z, so we can write x of z as, okay, so x of z as, so first write e power z. Okay, so if you write e power z, so I will write it as 1 plus whatever z plus z square by 2 factorial plus z cube by 3 factorial plus go on. So this is for e power z, and similarly for e power minus z, you will get 1 plus z inverse by 1 factorial plus z square, z power minus 2 by 2 factorial, like that. Okay, so now this is for e power minus z. So now I can write x of z as, so this will be given by 1, I will retain as it is, plus, so now I will vary this z summation from 1. Okay, so from k equal to 1 to infinity, okay, z power k divided by k factorial. So this summation I am writing starting from z power 1, and similarly here I will write it as k equal to 0 to infinity z power minus k by k factorial. Okay, so this one I am writing like this. So now I can write, so this one 1 plus, so now you can see here it is varying from 0 to infinity, and this is varying from 1 to infinity. So now I can write this one as, so from minus 1 to minus infinity, I can change the z power into minus, and minus k factorial. So then this magnitude only we are considering, so you can take it as k factorial. So now this both summation I can write it as, or we can write one more step. I can write k equal to minus infinity to minus 1 z power minus k divided by k factorial plus k equal to 0 to infinity z power minus k by factorial k factorial. So now this we can write it as complete in the summation form. So now it is varying from minus infinity to minus 1 and 0 to infinity. Now we can combine it as minus infinity to plus infinity z power minus k by k factorial. Okay. So now if we can write like this, so we will write this as magnitude, because here we are changing the summation order. So in the both the cases we are taking only the magnitude. Okay. So now this is your x of z, which we are obtained in the simplified form. Now you take the inverse z transform for this, then you will get the value of x of n. So now what is the value of x of 1? Taking inverse z transform, so 1 you will get the inverse z transform, which is del of n. Okay. So now for this one, summation k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. So this k is varying here. Okay. So now if you take this one, so 1 by k factorial as it is, it will be there. So now z power minus k we can write in terms of del. Okay. So now if we have z power 1, we can write it as del of n minus 1, right? Z power 2, del of n minus 2. So like that it will go on varying. Sorry, if it is minus, so then so we can better understand by taking the x of z equation. Okay. So we can have this x of z, which is summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. So now treat this x of n as 1 and z power minus n. So now you can see here, so if you put the values of z, so you will get like z power minus 1 plus z power minus 2, like that. So now this one can 1 into z power minus 1, we can write it as del of n minus 1 plus del of n minus 2, like that. Okay. It will go on like this. So wherever n varies, it will go on like this. Similarly here z power minus k, so this we can write it as whole thing. So del of n plus summation k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity 1 by k factorial, and this we can write it as in terms of del, which is del n minus k. So now we can put the value of k back and you will get the value. Okay. So now you can see, if you put the value of k equal to 1, you will get del of n minus k. Okay. So like that, 1 by 1 factorial del of n minus 1, del of n minus 2, like that. So now this is your time domain signal, and if you take back the z transform again, you will get back the same thing. Okay. So this is what your x of n for the x of z, which is equal to e power z plus e power 1 over z. Okay. So understood? Any doubt in this? Hello? So if you have any doubt, you can ask. So now for, after this we will take one more problem, so which is given by x of z, given by it is ln of 1 plus z inverse. Okay. So where z greater than 0. So now find x of n. So now for this one, so again we have the standard equation for ln of 1 plus theta. Okay. So that form you take and you can get the signal. So this will be given by theta minus theta square by 2 plus theta cube by 3, so minus theta 4 by 4, and it will be gone. So now if theta is less than 1, so that you have to take care. Okay. So now if you have like this, so then we can apply this formula. So now we can see here it is 1 over z. So z is greater than 0 means, so 1 over whatever the value we will get it which is less than 1. Okay. So now we can apply this formula to this one and we will get it as, so and also this we can write it in the summation form. Okay. Summation k equal to 1 to infinity, because theta is varying from power 1. So we can write this one as, so since it is alternative sign, so we can write 1 minus 1 power k, because whenever k varies it will give alternate values of plus and minus, into theta power k divided by k. So this formula we can write in the summation form. So now we can write your x of z, so okay, which is equal to ln of, so 1 plus z inverse. So we can write this one as summation k equal to 1 to infinity, so minus 1 power, sorry, here k minus 1 is there. So you can see here, if you put the value of k equal to 1, so this will become 0 and this power will become 0 and it will become plus 1. So now if you put value of k equal to 1, so k equal to 2, 2 minus 1 1 and it will become minus. So here it is k minus 1 and this is 1 minus 1 power k minus 1 into, so what is the value of theta here? Theta is z power minus 1 and this one whole power k divided by k. So this summation, so in the ln of 1 plus z inverse we can write like this. Okay. So now here, so we have to specify what is theta, z inverse. In our case it is z inverse, which should be less than 1. Okay, or we can write it as 1 over z less than 1, or we can write z greater than 1. So now if you write like this, then we will get the simplified form of x of z. So now we can take z inverse, that is inverse z transform. Okay, so now we can take inverse z transform to get x of n. So now what we can write x of n? So only here it is z power minus 1. So in terms of del we can write, so this one, so z power minus n or z power minus k. So if you compare that equation in the standard form, so we can write it as k equal to 1 to infinity, it is minus 1 power k minus 1 divided by k into del of n minus k. Okay, so like this we can write. So this is your x of n. Okay, understood? Any doubt? And similarly, if you have like in terms of ln of 1 minus theta, okay, so if some problems it will give 1 minus z, something like that, then you have to use this formula, that is minus theta square by 2 minus theta cube by 2 3 minus theta for 4 by 4. So like this, so we have to go on values. Okay, so theta should be less than 1. If it is like this, then you can apply this formula. Okay, so if you have, like, say for example, if I give ln of 1 minus z inverse, then you have to apply this formula and you can get back the value of x of n. Okay, so understood? So these are the some of the standard formulas you have to use for finding out the inverse z transform of x of z, or you can calculate time domain signal. Is it understood? Any doubt? Hello, any doubt in this? Okay, so now we'll move to the next one, which is called as causality and stability. Okay, so now we have the system, okay, which is having impulse response h of n. So now we have already know the property of the impulse response h of n. Okay, so when it will become causal signal, so this h of n, if it is 0 for n less than 0, then we will be having the system, we can tell it as causal system, is it not? Okay. So, alternatively we can say that, so if the ROC, if it is the ROC, whatever region of convergence, it exists outermost pole, that is greater than the outermost pole. Say for example, if you have the something like the pole here, so which represents some transfer function h of z. So, now if the pole is inside the ROC and ROC will be consists of, it is greater than the outermost pole of the h of z. So, then we can say this, it is causal system. That is also alternatively we can say. So, if it is less than 0, h of n is 0 for n less than 0, then also we can say that it is causal system. And even we can say, if it is the ROC exists outermost pole, so greater than the outermost pole, then we can say it is a causal system. So, now how we can say the stability? So, stability, as I said, whatever the poles it is there, if the ROC exists greater than whatever the outermost pole, say for example, this is outermost pole. So, then if the ROC exists outermost pole, so then we can say that the system is stable, or we can say if the h of z is, or if h of z is absolutely summable. Okay. So, if h of z is absolutely summable, so then also we can say it is stable. So, now if you say the both causality and stability in one sentence, if the system or if the impulse response or transfer function is said to be causal and stable, okay, both causal and stable, then ROC must include the unity circle. Say for example, this is the unity circle. Okay. So, if this is unity circle, so then it should include the ROC. Okay. So, h of z should include the unit circle, ROC must should include the unit circle, and it must be outside the outermost pole. Okay. So, this, say for example, this is a unity circle, and if the outermost pole exists somewhere here, then ROC will be greater than this, okay, greater than this outermost pole. So, say for example, this is half, the outermost pole is half, then greater than this outermost pole whatever the ROC exists, and it includes the unity circle. So, then we can say that system is both causal and stable. Okay. Both causal and stable. Okay. So, once more we can say, so if the system is causal and stable, the ROC must include the unity circle, and it should be lies outside the outermost pole whatever it exists. Okay. So, that means, so indirectly we can say all the poles, okay, all the poles of the h of z or transfer function must lie inside the unit circle. If the system, if you want to say the system h of z or transfer function h of z must both stable and causal, then the ROC or all the poles, whatever the poles of h of z must lie inside the unit circle. So, then we can say the system is possess both causality as well as stability. Okay. So, now we can determine some of the take some problems, and we can say whether it is causal or stable. Okay. So, now we can take this one h of z in order to understand how we can get the causality and stability of the system. So, h of z, which is given by 2z plus 1 divided by z square plus z minus 5 by 60. So, now determine whether the system is stable or causal. So, we have to find out whether the system is stability, it possesses stability or causality. Okay. So, now to find out this, so we have to find out the poles of this, or factors of this, or roots of this. So, find out the roots of this denominator, so that we can say whether h of z is causal, stable or not. Okay. So, now we have, so if we take 2 outside, it will give z plus 1 by 2. So that means the 1 0 exists at half. Okay, and similarly you can find out the roots for this. So we have to get 5 by 16. Okay, so now we can take 5 by 4 and 1 by 4 as the roots. Okay, and if you multiply you will get 5 by 16, and if you subtract this 5 by 4 and 1 by 4, so 5 by 4 minus 1 by 4 you will get 1, so that you will get plus 1. So the roots we can say it is 5 by 4 and 1 by 4. So now we can write z plus 5 by 4 into z minus 1 by 4. Okay, so now we can see here, so what happens here, the roots, whatever the poles of this transfer function, so poles exist at minus 5 by 4 and plus 1 by 4. So these are the pole location. So if you plot this one poles location, so say for example this is a unity circle. Okay, so now 1 by 4, so it definitely it will lie somewhere here inside the unity circle. And what about this 5 by 4, it is 1.25, that means in the negative side it is outside the unity circle. So one pole is existing outside the unity circle. So then what we can say, system is not both causal and stable. Now we can say this system is not causal and stable. Okay, so now we have to see like this where the pole exists, and if you plot the unity circle here z equal to 1, so then we have to properly check where the poles are exist, and depending upon that you have to decide whether the system is causal or stable. So okay, is it understood? Any doubt in this? Hello? Okay, so now take one more problem and try to get the answer. H of z, which is given by z square plus 2z divided by z square plus 14 by 8z plus 49 by 64. So now this is h of z which is given, and try to get the answer. Try to get the answer. Hello, is it understood?
Show the screen again.
Yeah. So what are the roots for this? We have to find poles, because that is very important to find out. So 49 by 64. Okay, so we need to get 14 by 8 as a sum of the roots, and this is a product of the roots. So now we can see here, so if you take this square root of this, so what is square root of this? This one is 7 and this one is 8. Okay, so now one root we can say this one. So another root we can, if you say multiply 7 by 8 by 7 by 8, so you will get 49 by 64, right? So now this one, if you add both, that is 7 by 8 plus 7 by 8, so what you will get? You will get the sum back. Okay, so now what are the roots? Roots are, so minus 7 by 8, so that we can write it as this one, z plus 7 by 8 whole square. Okay, so this we can write it as, so we can take z in the numerator common, so we will get z plus z into 2, so z into z plus 2, and this we can write z plus 7 by 8 whole square. So now where the roots exist? The poles which are exist at minus 7 by 8. Okay, so both the poles exist at the same point. So now if you say this one is z equal to 1 unity circle, so now what is 7 by 8? So it is less than 1. So somewhere here, so minus 7 by 8. Both the poles exist same place. So is it inside the unity circle? The poles, all the poles of this transfer function? Yes, it is inside the unity circle. So then what we can say? So now this system we can say it is both causal and stable. Understood? Any doubt in this? Hello? Is it understood? Any doubt? Hello? Anybody? Okay. So now we will take one more problem and try to do. So now the input and output of LTI system is given like this. Okay. So the input and output of LTI system. So this is given by input x of n equal to u of n and your y of n, the output which is given by half power n minus 1 into u of n plus 1. So now this is given by x of n and y of n, the input and output of LTI system. So now what you have to find? First you need to find what is transfer function. Okay, so second one you have to find what is impulse response. Okay, so impulse response. Now after finding out impulse response, we have to check whether the system is stable or not. So finally we have to find out whether system is causal or not. So now how we will find out? Now we have to find out first the transfer function. How we will find out the transfer function? So the transfer function relation we know, that is h of z, which is given by y of z divided by x of z. So now first if you find out this one, so then you have to take inverse the transform, then you will get h of n. Okay. So h of n we can get the impulse response in terms of the time domain signal. So now we know from this transfer function we can come to know, find out the roots and find out the poles. So where it is lies, then we can say whether the system is stable or causal. So try to get. So now first we need to do what is x of z and we need to know what is y of z. So in order to get your h of z, we need to take z transform of this both and you have to do it. So try to do it. So now what is x of z? So we can take this one as summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now put x of z n as u of n, you will get it as n equal to 0 to infinity u of n, okay, into z power minus n. So u of n is 1, so you will be having n equal to 0 to infinity z power minus n. So this already we know 1 minus 1 over 1 minus z inverse. So this is already we have done. So now we have obtained x of z. So now we try to do y of z. So what is y of z? So y of z will be, so since it is n is plus 1, so you will get it as, so now modify in terms of this also should come in terms of n plus 1, so that we can get the y of z. Okay, so how we can write it this one? So first you can write y of n, so in terms of the whatever it is there, u of n plus 1. So now if you want to get n plus 1 here, okay, so plus 1 and minus 1, so you have to add here and you will get, that is half power, so n minus 1. So this minus 1, so again add 1 plus 1 and minus 1. Okay, so add 2 times, that is plus 1 and minus 1. So now this minus 1 and minus 1 powers you take it outside, so you will get it as half power minus 2. Okay, so then you will get n plus 1. So like that you have to manipulate and you have to do. So if you do like that, so you will get half power minus 2 extra, then half power n plus 1 into u of n plus 1. Okay, so now if you do this one, so this will give 4, half power minus 2, you will get 4, and this one if you substitute as it is x of n here, so it will vary from minus 1 to so infinity. So minus, so you will get like half power n plus 1 u of n plus 1, and you will get so it is starting from n equal to minus 1. So and if you go on putting the values of n, so you will get the values, and if you take z transform for this, you will get so z by 1 minus half into z inverse. Okay, so where z we will be having half, that is greater than half. So this we have done already, so take look back that one and get the formula for this one, and you will get the y of z like this. So now we have x of z and we have y of z. Okay, so now you take the ratio, so you will get h of z, so which is given by y of z divided by x of z. So what you will get, so you know y of z, which is given by 4z divided by 1 minus half into z inverse. Okay, this divided by 1 over 1 minus z inverse. So now we can write this one as 4z into 1 minus z inverse divided by 1 minus half into z inverse. Okay, so now you multiply z inside, so you will get 4 minus, that is, okay, so 4z minus 4 divided by 1 minus half into z inverse. So now we can so this 1 by z you can write, so here okay, so here you will get h of z, which is given by so 4 into z minus 1 divided by so 1 minus half into 1 over z you can write, and you can take the common factor here, so 4 into z minus 1 divided by 2z minus 1 divided by 2z, and you can write here 4 into z minus 1 into 2z divided by 2z minus 1, or you can take this again 2 to get the pole, so 4 into z minus 1 into 2z, so this divided by 2 into z minus half. Okay, so this 2 will get cancelled, and you can write it as 4z into z minus 1 divided by z minus half. So now you can see here where the pole exists for this transfer function, and we can say whether it is causal or stable. Is it stable? Hello?
It's inside one, right?
Yeah, it is inside the unit circle. Okay, inside the unit circle. So then what we can say? System is
Stable.
stable. But for causality, what will happen? So you can see here whatever we have, it is starting from n equal to minus 1. Is it not? So is it starting from n equal to minus 1?
Yes, sir.
So then what will h of n will be? H of n will be is not equal to 0 for n less than 0. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So then what will happen? So definitely you will if you take the inverse z transform of this h of z, okay, this one, So it will start from n plus 1. So then you will get it as the system is not causal. System is not causal. So now you can take this itself and you can try to get whatever h of z we are getting here. Okay, so this h of z we can take and we can get back the h of n. Okay, try to do that and you will get back the h of n signal. So that you try to do, and so you will get the system h of n, that is impulse response of the system. Or we can do that also, so that we can understand better whether it is causal or not. Okay, so now what is the final thing we got? Okay, so the final thing we got this one, so we can write that one and we can take inverse Z transform, so that you will get h of n. Okay, so now h of z we got, which is nothing but 4z into z minus 1 divided by z minus half. So now we can write this one 4z by z minus half plus z minus 1 by z minus half. Okay, so now what we can write for, so for this one, okay, so we can write this one as 4z divided by, we can take z common here and you will get 1 minus half z inverse again. So now this z will cancel each other, plus, and here also, so you can take the z common and you will get 1 minus 1 over z inverse and divided by 1 minus half z inverse. Okay, so this z will get cancel each other. So and here also, so sorry, this is 1 over z inverse. Okay, so now we can get back the h of n. What is h of n? So now what we can write this one, so since it is 4 into, so half power, that is 1 minus half power z inverse, we can write it as half power n into u of n. Okay, plus here, so here this one again we can split here, so this one is 1 over 1 minus half z inverse minus half z inverse divided by 1 minus half into z inverse. So now this we can see here, so this we can write it as again just half power n into u of n. Okay, and this one, and this we can see, so this we can see here, so this is starting from n equal to 1. Okay, so this is, we can write it as n plus 1. So this we can write it as half into minus half power n plus 1 into u of n plus 1, because we know from summation k equal to 1 to infinity, that is if you have alpha power n, so this we can write it as alpha by 1 minus alpha. So this is in terms of minus 1 z power minus 1 by 1 minus half z power minus 1. So that we can write it as, so n plus 1, so half power n plus 1 by u of n plus 1. Okay, so that's why, so since the signal is starting from n equal to minus 1, the system is not causal. Okay, so this is about the stable and causal system. So is it okay what we have written? what we are getting here. So I think we have taken the split, so we can take this equation and we will get it. 4z minus 4. So we'll take this and we'll do it, because it is n plus alpha, it is starting from k equal to 1 here. K equal to 1 means it is from positive side. Okay, so that is positive side means u of n minus 1 it will come. So u of n plus 1 it won't come. So now if you take this one, that is x of z, whatever we got earlier, that is 4z minus 4 divided by 1 minus half z inverse. So now if you take this equation and you will get it as 4z divided by 1 minus half z inverse minus 4 by 1 minus half z inverse. Okay, so now we can write this one. So this one we can write it as 4 into directly we can write it as 4 into half power n into u of n. Okay, so here, so since there is a z, okay, so z power 1, okay, so this z power 1 leads to half power n plus 1 into u of n plus 1. Okay, so this is actually the x of n. Okay, so now we can write this one, we can take in the denominator and it will become z inverse, and you can multiply and you can get this whatever n plus 1. So this, it is starting from the power 1, and you can this we can write it as this, we can write it as, so if we take 1 minus half into 1 over z, so this we can write it as z minus half. Okay, so z minus half into, that is 4z by z minus half. So now it is starting from the value power 1, so summation we can take, that is from minus 1, and we can write it as this one u of n plus 1. Okay, so take this one and try, we will get the h of n, sorry, this is h of n, not x of z, it is h of z and h of n. This is h of n. Okay, so if you take the simplified form and you will get some other result. So in order to find the causality, you take this one directly by taking the ratio and whatever it is having, and you will get back the h of n. So now this one, it tells the causality of the system, it is not causal. Okay, the system is not causal. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt? Hello, so anybody, any doubt? Okay, take this one and try to get the result for the stability and causality. Okay, try to get in the form of difference equation I will give, and try to get the result. Okay, so take this one and try to get the answer. That is y of n minus 1 by 4 into y of n minus 1, which is equal to 6 into x of n minus 7 into x of n minus 1 plus 3 into x of n minus 2. So now the system which is described by the difference equation, Now first you need to find out what is h of z. Okay, so now for this h of z, whether system is stable or not, you have to find out. System is stable or not. Okay, so then also you have to find out the system is causal or not. Try to get this problem done in home and try to get the answer. Okay, so this is about the stability and causality. So first you need to check whether the system is stable or not. First you have to find out the transfer function and carefully observe the ROC and the poles which are exist inside the circle or not. Then you decide, and also you have to find out whether h of n is less than or it is 0 for n is less than or less than 0 or not. Okay, so then you can able to find out the stability and causality. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt? Hello? Hello, anybody doubt? Anybody? Okay, so we'll stop here and we will continue in the next.